Hey everybody, Ryan here from Rhino Hockey Channel. Alright, gonna be going over the Minnesota Wild 2021-2022 season preview. Alright, if you have not done so already, please hit that like button, hit that hit that subscribe button, then hit that notification bell, hit that share button, and let me know what you think in the comments. If you agree, disagree, let me know. Just keep it civil. Alright, additions for Minnesota. They added Alex Goligoski. I think that's gonna be a pretty good addition, honestly. Help them out. 1 year, $5 million. Frederick Gaudreau, 2 years, $1.2 million per. Joe Hicketts, 2 years, $750,000 per. Dominic Turgeon, 1 year, $750,000. Dmitry Kulikov, 2 years, $2.25 million per. Kevin Zuzman, 1 year, $750,000. John Merrill, 1 year, $850,000. John Lizotte, 1 year, $750,000, and Jordy Ben, 1 year, $900,000. So definitely the biggest one they got was Goligoski. I mean, granted, he's on the mid-30 range now, so I'm not sure how effective he'll be, but that's why they gave him a 1 year, not a 4 or 5 year. On the subtraction side, still surprised they bought out Ryan Suter of all people. Honestly, he was still a very effective defender for them. But they bought him out, they bought out Zach Parise, they lost Louis Belpedio to Montreal, Nick Bonino to San Jose. Honestly, I think that's going to be one they'll miss. Ian Cole to Carolina, Gabriel Dumont to Tampa, Philip Lindbergh to Pittsburgh, Luke Johnson to Winnipeg, Brad Hunt to Vancouver, Gerald Mayhew to Philadelphia, Brendan Manel to Toronto for a conditional 2022 7th round pick, and JT Brown retired and is now the announcer for the Seattle Kraken. They re-signed Kyle Rowell to a 1 year, $750,000 deal. Nick Bugstad for re-signed 1 year, $900,000. Joel Eriksson Ek got his bigger contract, 8 years, $5.25 million per. That is a good deal. Will Bidden, 1 year, $840,000. Kevin Fiala, 1 year, $5.1 million. I have a feeling Fiala may not be staying with this team for the long term. And they finally re-signed Kirill Kaprizov, 5 years, $9 million per. Hopefully he can live up to that after one good year. But you know what? You never know. Alright, salary cap situation. They are sitting at $79.1 million with $2.3 million in extra cap space. And deadline cap space projected to be $11.9 million. So they have some space. On the forward front, they have Kirill Kaprizov, like I said, signed that brand shiny new contract last week, or maybe week before. Same thing with Joel Eriksson Ek, brand new contract kicking in this year. Zuccarello, they still have for 3 more. Kevin Fiala and Jordan Greenway will be RFAs after this year, so they want to keep them. They're going to have to spend some money, especially on Greenway. RFAs, Victor Rask, who had a resurgent year last year after a few years of mediocrity at best. It will be a UFA along with Frederick Gaudreau, Kyle Rowell, and Nico Sturm. Nico Sturm actually had a very good year last year, so I wouldn't be surprised if he gets re-signed. And they have Matthew Boldy they have there. And I can see him playing this year for sure. Marcus Foligno had a ridiculously good offensive year before being injured last year. Ryan Hartman just always finds a way to piss people off too. Alright, on the defensive side, Jared Spurgeon is their highest paid defender now that Ryan Suter's gone. Well, wait, let's see. Oh no, Ryan Suter's only getting $2.3 million in the buyout this year, or that's all it's hitting the cap this year. So, still not the highest paid. But Spurgeon is. Spurgeon, Jonas Brodin, Matt Dumba. Dumba signed a 2-year deal, so he's on there. Alec Goligoski, Jordy Ben, and John Merrill, UFAs out this year, so they lose those 4. It's not the end of the world because they still have Kulikov, who is a good third-pair defender. But their first 3 defenders, Spurgeon, Brodin, and Dumba, set. So, well, I mean, Dumba's going to have to get a new contract after next year. Still kind of surprised Kakinen is still on that team after being available in the Seattle draft. But he's an RFA after this year, and honestly, probably their goalie of the future, because Cam Talbot probably is not the long-term expected one, but they have him for this year and next year. Dead cap, you have Zach Parise and Ryan Suter who signed exact same deals a few years ago, getting the exact same amount of money for their buyouts. $2.3 million this year, $6.3 next year, $7.3 the following 2, and then going down to $833,000 the following 2. On the non-roster forward area, you have Mitchell Chaffee, Nick Sweeney, Will Bidden, Connor Dewar, Dominic Turgeon, and Ivan Ludnia are all RFAs after this year. So, I mean, I can't... Oh, Marco Rossi. Oh, God, I hope he can come back at 100%, because he'd be a huge addition to this offense, too. Almost like getting another Kaprizov like last year, if he can come back fully healthy, because he was out all last year with COVID, so, and he had a really bad case from what I understand, so, and bad after effects. So hopefully he can come back at 100%, because that would be a huge addition to this offense. On the defensive side, let's see, they have Carson Lambos and Ryan O'Rourke on the up-and-coming. Caitlyn Addison, too. Damon Hunt, I'm not too sure. I'm not too familiar with Damon Hunt. I'll have to look more into him. So, I mean, there's some up-and-coming defenders, so that'll make their defense stronger with 3 main guys signed after this year. And then, let's see, on the contract ending, Fyodor Gordiev is an RFA after this year. Kevin Zuckman and John Lazat are UFAs. On the goalie side, you have Andrew Hammond is UFA after this year, and Derek Baribeau is an RFA. Alright, now, talking about their future goalies, at number 20 in the 2021 draft, they got Jesper Wallstedt. Kind of surprised he was still there at 20. But you know what? That's now their goalie of the future. So, yay! For them. That's going to be very good for them in the future, having a Kakinen and Wallstedt duo. That's going to be ridiculously good, I have a feeling. And at number 26, since they had 2 first-round picks, Carson Lambos. Definitely not a terrible defender by any stretch. So, going to be taking a few years to develop, but he'll be a good one down the line. I have a feeling. I could be wrong. Players don't always develop the way you expect. Alright, now Minnesota has all their own 1st through 6th this year. No 7th round pick, and they have San Jose's 5th round pick this year. Then, next 2 years, they have all their own picks, which this is probably going to be a good team, so I gotta imagine not going to end up with all those draft picks. Alright, this is how Cap Friendly saw their lines based off the depth charts that they had, so take that with a grain of salt. This is probably not how the final lines are going to look, but still, this is just the projected lines. And once again, if you haven't checked out Cap Friendly, make sure to go check them out. Great resource when it comes to cap information. On the first line, Kaprizov with Erikssonek and Zuccarello. Kaprizov definitely makes everybody around him better, and he did that last year. I mean, Zuccarello had 35 points in 42 games. He didn't even start the season. He had a great year. So did Joel Erikssonek, 30 points in 56 games, and 51 points in 55 games for Kaprizov. Great rookie season. Second line, you have Jordan Greenway, Ryan Hartman, and Marcus Foligno. Like I said, Marcus Foligno had an amazingly good offensive year, 26 points in 39 games last year. Greenway, I think they still want him to develop more into more goal scoring than 6 goals in 56 games. But still, 32 points, not a terrible output for a younger player. But still, he's 24, and I think they expect more at this point. Victor Rask with Frederick Gaudreau and Kevin Fiala. Okay, Fiala definitely can provide more offense than third line, so I would not be surprised if he ends up being on second line. And then fourth line, you have DeHame with Sturm and Bukestad. And Bukestad and Sturm had alternating stats, as you can see. One had 11 goals, and the other had 6, and one had 6 assists, and the other one had 11 assists. So alternating stats there. I honestly did not realize Bukestad was 6'6". Pretty big kid. Oh, I guess he's not a kid anymore. He's almost 30. All right, on the defensive side, on the first pair, you have Jonas Brodin and Matt Dumba. Second pair, Alex Goligoski and Jared Spurgeon. And third pair, Kulikov and Ben. That's not a slouch of a defense by any stretch. That's still a fairly good defense. I mean, if they had Ryan Suter, that top 4 would be ridiculously good. But still, a good top 4 and top 6 overall. Goalie-wise, you have Cam Talbot with Capo Kakinen. Last year, Talbot 19-8, Kakinen 16-8. Talbot with the better numbers slightly, but still better. On the scratch side, you have Marco Rossi, who I have a feeling is going to be playing probably instead of Frederick Gaudreau, is my assumption, on that third line center position to start the season. Kyle Rowell played 14 games, 2 points last year, so he may get some time. And John Merrill playing last year, I believe, for 1 or 2 different teams. 49 games, 5 points. Not to be expected for him to develop into a defender. That was expected when he first came into the league. But still, a serviceable extra defender. Training camp, Matthew Boldy. I have a feeling you might see Boldy getting some games in this year. Adam Beckman, Dewar, Addison down there played 3 games last year, so he might get some time this year. And the Hamburglar, Andrew Hammond. Alright, on the minor league side, Joseph Camarosa played last year, 4 games, 1 assist. You have Dakota Mermis, played 3 games last year. Kevin Zuckman played 2 games last year, not with his team though. And yep, then there's the lone player, and I had to do 2 pages for this as well because their prospect list is redunculous. And do not ask me. Okay, I'm going to try to pronounce this. I will say it wrong. Murat Kuznetsov. I'm saying that wrong, I'm sure. But he's down there. Definitely one of their higher picks on the list. That's down here. But they have a couple of defenders that are first round picks of Philip Johansson and Carson Lambos. Ryan O'Rourke is the guy who fell out of the first round. So, pick 39th. Jack Pert is down there too. Damon Hunt is signed. He was a 65th overall pick. So, they definitely don't have the offensive prospects that you would expect. But, I mean, they still have Matthew Boldy and Marco Rossi, which is still 2 very good offensive prospects. Then here's the top prospects. Marco Rossi, like I said, did not play last year due to a really bad case of COVID and really bad after effects of it, which I'm not sure. I haven't heard whether or not they're 100% gone. So we'll have to see how he does this year. Matthew Boldy, I know they had him listed as center previously, but the list I found for top prospects, he's listed as a left winger. 31 points in 22 NCAA games and 18 points in 14 AHL games. That looks pretty dang good. Now, like I said, Boldy may get the start on the AHL this year, and Rossi may start in the AHL just to get his game going again, because like I said, he missed all last year. So we'll have to see how he does in camp. Jesper Wallstedt, 12-10-0 in 22 SHL games. That is their top goaltending prospect. Caitlyn Addison, defender, 0 points in 3 NHL games, 1 point in 3 NHL playoff games, and 22 points in 31 AHL games. It's pretty good point output for a defender, so he's a guy who may get some games this year. Oh, then there he is again. Murat Kuznetsov, center, 7 points in 11 KHL games so far this season, because KHL has already been going. Others mentioned: Adam Beckman, left winger; Carson Lambos, a defender; Alexander Havanov, a center; Ryan O'Rourke, a defender; and Jack Pert, a defender. Alright, here's their season outlook. This is going to be a middle to top range team. They have a tougher division. I mean, if they were in Pacific Division, I'd say they'd be probably one of the top 3 for sure. But in their division, they may end up being one of the 2 wildcard picks because it is a very good division. But it's still a very good team. Now, they still have a couple of guys that develop, and I think their defense is a bit weaker because of the loss of Ryan Suter, but they still have a very solid defense, solid goaltending, solid offense. Is a good team. And that's why I'm picking them to finish middle of the top of their division, because like I said, I can see them getting a wild card spot, but I can also see them be in the top 3 in their division. So it's kind of a wide range on that central division. But still, going to be a very good team. Should be a good year for Minnesota fans, so something to look forward to. And continue that rivalry with the Colorado Avalanche. So let's see how that one goes. Hopefully they play each other in the playoffs. That'd be kind of fun. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and also make sure to share the video. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you agree, disagree with where I see them finishing, let me know. Just be civil. And other than that, I will see you all next video. Bye, everybody.